Hi guys, I'm Sav and welcome to my very first YouTube channel. I mean, yes, that is true. Welcome to my very first YouTube video on my YouTube channel. Since this channel is going to be about books and my life, what better way to kick it off than building our book cart? Because, hear me out, I want to make it a summer priority TBR cart. I do have a bookshelf to the right of me and I will show you guys that in a second, but it is overflowing. There's a lot going on it. It's not the sturdiest or the biggest bookshelf. Okay, let me stop and I'm gonna show you my bookshelf. So this is my handy dandy bookshelf. It's a little wicker one, but there's a lot going on and I'm gonna go ahead and explain it. This shelf are all books that I have read already. So there's some in the back. Underneath here, this is all books that I still have yet to read. Again, front and back. And then it has now traveled down. I would like to get most of this shelf onto my cart and then some of this one as well. Now that you guys have seen my bookshelf, you have a little bit more understanding of why I want to utilize this as a TBR cart. First up, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab my books that I really want to get to this summer and I'm gonna put them on the top and I'll go through them with you. Okay. So I kind of went out of hand and I just took everything off of my bookshelf on my TBR shelf. I guess in this video I'm also going to be telling you my summer TBR. So let's just start there. I have a lot of books I'm looking at and I just don't really know where to start. Okay, first things first, I'm going to put series on like the back. Or should I put them on the bottom? Okay, maybe we don't do series first. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys the first books that I want to read. First off, this is like top of my list. All of my Emily Henry books. I have all of them and I have yet to read a single one of them. But I don't know, all of her books just give me summer vibes and everyone and their mothers is talking about Happy Place and I have major FOMO, but I don't want to read Happy Place until I get to the rest of her books. I kind of want to go in order of when they were released because a lot of people say that her writing just improved each book, and so I don't want to like start off with the newest one and then travel backwards, but I definitely want to get to all of her books. Oh my gosh. Hello. So all Emily Henry books are on the shelf officially. This is the first thing I've ever put on here. Okay, along with authors, I guess, I do want to continue on with my Lucy Score books. I have Things We Hide from the Light, which is the second book to Things We Never Got Over. I did read that last year and I loved it. I just haven't gotten to the next book yet. I have Forever Never. I actually don't know if this is like a summer read, but I just love the small town romance and By a Thread. So I'm gonna put my Emily Henry books, my Lucy Score books. I definitely want to get to those. I'll go ahead and put in my Taylor Jenkins read books. I have read majority of her books, but I have yet to read Carrie Soto Is Back and Malibu Rising. I mean, this cover, it's just summer and I want to read them. We're just kind of going by author. I'm not even doing this on purpose. I guess I kind of am. I did just finish reading Every Summer After by Carly Fortune and I already bought the Meet Me at the Lake. So I definitely want to get to this. It definitely just gives me summer vibes. The lake house vibe was so cute. Archer's Voice, I really want to read this one. I feel so late to this book. I feel like everyone has read it and everyone absolutely loves it and I want to know what it's about. So I will try to get to this summer. I have The UN Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I absolutely loved Love in Other Words and I figured why not go ahead and add this to my summer reads. I'm pretty sure Steph Bohr gave this a 5-star as well, so it gives me high hopes. Another standalone book that I want to read is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. The next book, it's not like a second in the series, but I think it's like a standalone connected. It follows, I believe, the guy's sister and her bodyguard, if I'm correct. But I still have yet to read When in Rome, so I definitely want to read When in Rome. That way I can get Practice Makes Perfect. Because the cover is so cute. It's pink and I just love it. Another standalone book that I really want to add is Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I did read My Dark Romeo. It has Parker S. Huntington as the author, but it was like written with another author as well. but I really liked that book, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about My Darling Venom. And the cover, I don't know if this gives summer vibes at all, but I just love the pink in the cover, and I've just had it on my shelf for a really long time, and I really want to get to it. So this will also be on my summer TBR. The next one, I got this from, I believe, a thrift store. The Last Mrs Parish. I think this is actually a thriller, but the cover just gives me summer vibes, and I'm pretty sure it's also on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll just have the physical copy and I can read it at some point. If you are on BookTube, then I'm sure you know Miss Sarah Caroli. She's my queen. She always talks about Ellen Hilderbrand specifically being an amazing author to read in the summertime. I bought both of these actually at a thrift store. This one is called The Rumor. I don't know if this is like in the middle of a series or not though, because I also bought Winter in Paradise, but I found out this is part of a series, and I believe it's the last one, and I don't have the other ones. So that's lovely. I really want to start getting into Ellen Hilderbrand. I've never read one of her books, but Miss Sarah Caroli says she is a summer author, so I will be reading her in the summer. Before We Were Strangers, this is a Friends to Lovers Second Chance Romance, if I'm not mistaken. But Friends to Lovers Second Chance Romance is like one of my favorite tropes ever. So I will definitely be reading this, and it's also like a very quick read. The cover does not give summer, but I want to read it, so we're gonna add that on here. Another book that I want to add is a man called Ove. The movie with Tom Hanks just got released on Netflix, and I've had this for a while. It's very well loved. I got it from a thrift store for literally like $2, I think. But I do want to read this before I watch the movie, and I've heard amazing things about the movie, so hopefully the book is good as well. These two books I bought when I first got back into reading, which was in August of 2022, and I was solely going off of Book Talk, and these two books were talked about a lot, and I've had them on my shelf since, and I just have yet to read them. The covers, you know, we're not gonna judge. It's The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. Everyone talked so highly about these books, and listen, I feel like I should have read them like immediately, like when I first got into reading, because I've read a lot of books since, and I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy them. I'm trying not to judge solely on the cartoon covers, but also I loved Icebreaker, and that one had a cartoon cover, so I'm gonna try not to be so harsh, but I would like to get to these eventually as well. Another book that I want to read. So here's the thing. I just watched Queen Charlotte on Netflix, and if you haven't, what are you doing? You should absolutely watch it. But it is my current obsession, like majorly. So I did buy the book, and I absolutely want to get to this book. I want to fully like annotate it. But I found this out, and I don't know if this is just me, but this is the cover, okay? It has Queen Charlotte, King Georgie baby, but if you were like me and normally don't like people on covers, I found this out. They literally offer like an alternative cover. Like you can just turn it inside out. I don't know if that blew anyone mind like it did for me. Amazing. And with that, I also bought Bridgerton, The Duke and I bought this right after watching the first season of Bridgerton, and I never actually read it, so I'm thinking maybe I'll get to it, but I for sure want to read Queen Charlotte. So this is a must. This is like a, if I get to it, I get to it. I'm making this so much more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, so now I want to move on to series that I want to get to this summer. First off, we have the Off-Campus series. I bought this entire series off Amazon. I have yet to read anything by Elle Kennedy, but I've just heard really good things about this series, and although I absolutely despise the covers, I love a good like hockey romance, college romance. I think they're in college. I don't know. Either way though, I definitely want to get to these. The next series that I really want to get to, is it Dreamland Billionaire series? I think it's a Dreamland I think this is the Dreamland Billionaire series. Oh, it literally says it on top. I'm an idiot. Okay, so the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. I really want to get to this series. I've heard nothing but amazing things. I have yet to read anything by Lauren Asher, but I do really want to get to it. Talking about series, I really want to finish the ACOTAR series. All I have left is The Court of Silver Flames, and I don't want the series to end, but like I want to know how it ends. you know? So I definitely will be finishing this series this summer. With that being said, I want to start another series as well, and that is the Addicted Callaway series. I only have the first book, but I know it's a long series. I know it's so well loved and so highly praised, and the found family trope I've heard is just amazing, and I love found family so much. So I definitely want to get to this series as well. I only have the first book, so I'm just going to add that down there. My foot's falling asleep. Another series that I am in the middle of and I really want to continue and possibly finish this summer is the Shatter Me series. I just finished Ignite Me. It low-key put me in a book slump because it was so good and I loved every second of it. If you know, you know. Tahira Mafi's writing is so good, and I don't know what she puts in these books, but I have to like binge them. I just can't stop once I start, and they're just so good. So I definitely will be adding that to my series shelf as well. I don't really know if I would count this as a series, but I have The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I still have to read Mile High. I actually was gifted The Right Move from my Amazon wish list. I don't have Mile High yet though, but I know it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm going to read Mile High and then I'll eventually get to The Right Move. But I've heard this is the better book in the series. Well, what people favor. So I really want to get to this as well and meet the male main character that everyone is talking about. This book does not really give summer vibes, but A Thousand Boy Kisses, I've heard it will literally make you cry. Sid gifted me this book off my Amazon wishlist and I really want to get to it. I love the cover. She's cute. Okay, so I actually have a good amount of space left, so I think I'm just gonna put the rest of my TBR on here. They're not exactly my priority ones. These are my main priority ones, and then my series are on the bottom. But I'm gonna put the rest of them that like are there but like are not at the tippity top of my TBR. I'll go ahead and give those off to you, and if you love any of these books, please tell me, and then maybe I will move it to the top of my priority TBR shelf. First book I have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. Again, I'm not in love with this cover. I also haven't really heard great things about it. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, but I definitely want to read it just so I can see for myself, because I've loved books that other people did not, and I've also did not like books that other people absolutely loved. So I definitely want to form my own opinion on it. I got this from a thrift store as well. It's called Little Fires Everywhere. I actually don't know anything. Okay, one thing about me is I really like to go into books completely blind. So I kind of just buy books that I see a lot on like bookstagram or book talk, but without knowing anything about it. So I bought this. I don't know. I recognized it. It had decent ratings on Goodreads, so I bought it. It's Kingdom of the Wicked. I've also heard mixed reviews about this, but like I said, I do want to form my own opinion. I am still very much learning more about fantasy, but I'm very in that era right now. I'm gonna put these on the back of the shelf. No judgment here. Colleen Hoover, obviously she was a very talked about author in like 2020 and 2021. When I first got into reading, she was an author that was talked about a lot, and I do have some of her books. I don't really plan on reading maybe someday or Confess anytime soon, but I actually have heard good things about All Your Perfect, so I might get to this summer just because it is a quick read. But I will put them on the back of my shelf just because they're not exactly high on my priority, but you never know. Maybe I will absolutely love it. Just Haven't Met You Yet. I think I've seen this on TikTok. Again, don't know anything about it, but the cover's cute. So the next one I have is Second First Impressions. Again, pretty much all of these I've just seen on like TikTok or Bookstagram, but I do want to get to that one as well. They're both purple. That's cute. I actually scored this one at a thrift store. It's called The Secret History. Yeah. I thought that the Donna Tartt was part of the title. That's just the author. Okay. It's just called The Secret History. But I've seen this cover a lot and I really want to get to it. And I actually got it like at such a good price from a thrift store and it's in good shape. So I am excited for that one for sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure this got turned into a movie. Oh, it literally says soon to be a major motion picture. I'm pretty sure this has already been made into one. But it's Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. One thing about me is if it's at a thrift store, there's no harm, no foul, you know? Like if I love it, fantastic. I got it from a thrift store. If I didn't like it, it's okay. I got it from a thrift store. I'll just return it or donate it. Donate it again. This is also one I got from a thrift store. It's called Jane of Austen. Obviously Jane Austen, I've heard the name. I'm not gonna try to sound stupid, so we're just gonna put this in the back. I actually just got gifted this book from Valentine PR, so I do want to thank Valentine PR for sending me this. It's called The Bachelor. I said on the back that it was a scorching hot forbidden friends to lovers romance. As I said earlier in this video, I absolutely love friends to lovers, and it's forbidden, which I feel like it's gonna be spicy. I mean, this is the cover. I don't love it, but it tells me what I think I need to know. So I do have some thrillers as well. Okay, can we turn this around? It's fine, you guys, it's fine. I actually filled this up a lot more than I thought I was going to. It's got a lot heavier. Okay, so this is the back. You guys, they kind of just look alike. I'm just gonna put them there. I am gonna put A Man Called Ove on here. The Bachelor from Valentine PR. These are my thrillers, I guess, that I have. This one I scored at a thrift store, Gone Girl. I absolutely loved the movie. And then I have The Girl on the Train. Absolutely love this movie as well. One of my friends actually just gave that to me, so thank you. These two are books that I don't know if I'll ever get to, but I bought them because of watching the show or the movie. No, they're both shows. Don't know why I said movie. But I bought them because of the shows. I don't know if I'll get to them, but they're there. You know, just in case. This is The Handmaid's Tale. I love this show. I actually still need to finish it. And I have good old Pretty Little Liars. Listen. No regrets. I have Then She Was Gone. I bought this from Target. It sounds very interesting. It does. But I just haven't gotten to it yet. Most thrillers, I just noticed I tend to read on my Kindle because that's where Frida McFadden has her books. And then I have Hidden Bodies. This was actually my friend's. He let me borrow it and I just never gave it back. But it's like, yeah, a novel by the author of You, the TV show. Obviously the TV show. I started it, but I never finished it. And this is A Woman in the Window. I also watched this on Netflix. You know, if I get to him, I get to him. Great. Last but most certainly not least, I have A Little Life by Hanya. I'm not even gonna attempt that. You've seen this cover probably. It's such an iconic book cover. But everyone just talks about how emotional this book is. And it's not like a thin book. So I definitely want to wait until I get to more mental space for it. Forgot about these two. So this is Play With Me by Becca Mack. It's in the hockey series. The first one is Consider Me, and then it's Play With Me, and then I believe the next one, Unravel Me, is coming out. My husband, my lovely husband, bought me Play With Me, not knowing it was the second in a series. So I do have this one that I want to get to. And then he also bought me Anastasia, which is a fantasy by Sophie Lark. I have yet to read anything by Sophie Lark, but I've heard nothing but praise for her writing. So I definitely want to get to that one as well. And that's it. Ta-da! So these are all of the books on my TBR. It started off just as a summer TBR. One thing led to another, and I got carried away. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this video. If you've made it this far, please go ahead and leave a like, comment, and let me know if any of these books I added on my TBR you like, or I should push up on my priority list. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to keep up with me, you can always find me at my bookstagram. It's at savsbookcase. But until next time, I hope I see you guys in the next video. Bye.